I'm gonna call today's video, I toured a pickle factory. I just got to the Fishtown pickling facility where they make all their product. This is super exciting today. They are making their Philly Dilly dill pickles. I'm gonna show you inside, like behind the scenes of that experience. From ground floor up to finished product, how are you making a pickle?
It gets done in glass jars. So we see glass jars all around the room. So jars are sanitized. They get a unique blend of spices depending on what the variety is, and then whatever other produce items it's getting. So most of them get fresh dill, fresh garlic, some get fresh onions, and then they get filled with a cut of pickle, so a cut of cucumber, excuse me, so a chip, spear, what we have, and then they get a unique brine for that recipe. After it gets filled with the cucumbers, they get brined, lidded, sealed, and then labeled, and then they're in the refrigeration their whole life.
You got that fancy machine over there. How does that work? Tell me about it.
So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. The way I always compare it for somebody that's never seen it before, it reminds me of one of like the pitching machines at a batting cage. So it's pretty much two wheels and a fixed blade. So the two wheels are grabbing the cucumber and throwing them through a blade that doesn't move. The blade is adjustable, so we can cut a cucumber in half like we're doing today. We can go into quarters or fifths or sixths depending on the size of the cucumber. And then we just fill up tubs of the finished cut cucumbers, and then those are what goes into our jars.
I got to see the brine making process a little bit. We're talking Philly Dilly specifically. Obviously there are, I'm sure, some like secret components to your recipe, but like generally, how is that made?
So yeah, so we heat our brine. Really, we heat the brine so we can melt salt and sugar. So there's no spices, with the exception of some of them have turmeric in it, which gives it that yellow color. So really, the brines are all a combination of vinegar and water, then salt and sugar, depending on the variety. And they get heated so everything is dispersed and melted nicely, and then the hot brine gets poured over all of the finished jarred pickle.
I'm here with Nikki, one of the owners and founders of Fishtown Pickle Project. Let's take a tour of the factory.
Welcome to FPP Headquarters. I'm Nikki, and this is where the magic happens. Right when you walk in, actually, this is where our online fulfillment occurs, so where we ship nationwide. This is an area for some farmers market supplies, product backstop. In here holds all of the goods.
This is the walk-in?
That's the walk-in refrigerator. Some more backstock. We are in Jar City at the moment.
Yeah. Jars for miles.
Yes. And then right over here is our prep area. And essentially the way the operation works is we start by cutting. So we've got our spear cutter here. This is our RoboCrew to create some chips. And then prep tables.
How did the Fishtown Pickle Project get started?
Yeah, so by accident, years ago, after Mike and I got married, we gave out pickles as wedding favors, and it was a huge hit. People wanted more, and it was the first time that we felt like we had something special that we could create. And a couple months later after that, there was a pickle festival coming to Philadelphia. And because we were two crazy newlyweds, we signed up and we were successful. We got interest from a broker. We had a retailer. Our Instagram page was blowing up. And we had, the retail background, the food background, professional experience in that area. So we were able to keep it growing until today.
Why pickles of all things?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question. We don't know the answer. What we know is, we had a good product, but again, I wouldn't even call it a product. It was Mike made the zesty sweet garlic variety. This was the one that we gave out as wedding favors. Every summer when Kirby cucumbers came in season, he bought them and he pickled them because this is what we did. We went to farmers markets. We supported local farms and farmers, and we made delicious things with them. So it just happened to be pickles because that's where it began. But we had no intentions or no idea that it was going to lead us down this road. First and foremost, I think there's something to be said about making the product in small batches. I truly believe that that's why so many customers come to us and they say, well, this flavor reminds me of what my grandmom used to make or my grandpop used to make. There's a lot of nostalgia. There's a lot of emotion already brining, in pickles. And so, and I didn't, again, that was another thing that we didn't know until we were selling pickles, but that was really a big factor in people liking them and wanting more.
This is like asking you to pick between your children, but what's the favorite flavor?
It really is. That's true. It's hard. It's based on my mood. I can say that the sweet onions, I couldn't get enough of them when I was pregnant. There will always be a special place for those. The zesty garlic as well, because those were the first. And I also, depending on what I'm eating, either the Philly Dilly or the habanero dill.
I use those exact words. Yes, it is like choosing a child. But I have an answer to that question, and that would be the zesty sweet garlic. Because I think of our regular lineup, it's the most unique of the whole bunch. It's made with rice vinegar, which is a favorite vinegar of mine, and it's the real original pickle. So that's actually the very first pickle I ever started making in my own kitchen, just giving them out to friends. So that one was my favorite at the time, and it still is.
We're gonna try some of the pickles now. We have spent the day seeing how these are made, and now we're gonna get to try them. Let's start with the Philly Dilly, since that's what we were making today.
Well, and you know, on top, there's going to be the little pieces, right? We call them toppers.
I'm gonna grab a spear.
Oh, you got a spear, lucky.
Sticking out for you there.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
It's so good.
Yum.
I'm pretty good.
You know, it's really crisp. It's like a perfect dill pickle, right? Like that's so good. You obviously get the dill, you get the brininess. It's just like it's so crisp. It's a phenomenal
Balance.
pickle. Yes,
that's
balance.
a word I like to use.
I love that. Yeah, this is great.
Try it on.
Yeah, this is the zesty sweet garlic. This is the original pickle, the one that y'all gave away at your wedding, right?
Yeah. So this was the first one. This is one that got the business started right here.
Cheers.
Awesome. Cheers again.
Oh my God. I have never had that one before. I'd had the Philly Dilly before. I see why this is your favorite.
It's my favorite. Yeah, it is. I call it the sweet pickle for those that don't think they like sweet pickles. It's this one holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah, it is. Zesty is the perfect word.
Okay.
It's good.
We had a really hard time naming it because
you did a good job.
It's more complex than the other flavor, or the most complex, I'd say. I always call it the sweet and sour chicken of our pickle flavors. The sweet and sour chicken of our pickle flavors, because it's savory, it's tangy, it's zesty, it's sweet, it's garlicky, it's oniony, it's all the things.
What's the difference between this and like a regular bread and butter pickle?
I would say significantly more sugar in a bread and butter pickle. Like, I don't think that these are.
Yeah, it's not overly sweet.
It's not overly sweet. No, it is definitely, like, if you weren't expecting it, it's definitely sweeter than what you did expect from a deli style, but it is not a bread and butter. I think it's a perfect snacking pickle. I love eating these just as is because there's so much going on with them.
I could kill a jar of that.
It's just not overly, like, I guess, like corn syrupy the way,
Bread and butters are usually filled with corn syrup and coloring, and it's like almost too sweet. But the other thing that I like to talk about is we use a lot of apple cider vinegar in our pickle brines, which is great for digestion. There's some health benefits in apple cider vinegar. It also lends itself to a sweet-ish flavor profile.
Yeah.
So we don't have to add tons of sugar when we're making our brine because there's a little bit of sweet tang already in there.
Yeah, 100%. And in line with the real ingredients, the sugar that you are using is real sugar, not corn syrup.
Correct.
Yep.
Awesome. That's delicious.
All right, so the sweet onions. This one is sweeter than the zesty sweet garlic, but I would still say it's not as like violently sweet as some bread and butters will be. The best way I can explain this before you even try it is like a fresh, clean cucumber salad style pickle is what I usually tell.
Like a German cucumber salad type?
Yeah.
Let's try it. Oh, that's great too. I'm sensing there's not a bad thing y'all make. That's
Well, we like to think so. I mean, again, trial and error. We definitely had some errors, but that's why we take notes and keep improving upon them.
Yeah, that's delicious. What's the thought process behind spears versus chips?
So in this particular instance, the sweeter brines really shrink the pickles. I'm sure that there's some scientific explanation for that. So you do get some like shrink in the size of the pickle. So these would be very funny looking as spears.
Gotcha.
They might have like some, probably delicious, but definitely have some like wrinkliness to them and not the pretty aesthetics that I was mentioning earlier.
Gotcha.
Also the usage too.
And the usage. I love this with like, barbecue, with anything
That's so
off the
true.
grill.
Yeah, you could throw that on a burger. That
Or
would be phenomenal.
Nashville hot chicken.
Ooh, yeah.
So I think it's just more appropriate, for the flavor it is to be a chip. And then that other thing is just a coincidence that yes, they shrink up a lot in the sweeter brines.
Cool. I'm making turkey burgers tonight.
Oh, those are, yeah.
That's going on.
Chop them up too, put them in chicken salad, egg
Oh,
salad,
yeah.
that stuff, they're awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this last one is
This
a
one's-
sour pickle, the original sour.
Original sour. This one is just kind of, I don't want to say plain Jane, but I'm going to say it's more straightforward than anything else that we've had.
Yeah, I Jewish kid, grew up on Jewish delis, and this is the classic Jewish deli pickle.
Yep. And we wanted those because a lot of that was in the beginning a popular request. Like I just want a full-on sour in my face pickle.
Yeah, so this is our only variety that doesn't have sugar in it. It does have still apple cider vinegar,
Yeah.
so you will get, again, a little bit of that sweet tang.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Y'all know what you're doing. Y'all know what you're doing.
It comes down to sourcing, getting great product, cucumbers, vinegar, sourcing and love.
Fresher the better. The cucumber will never be fresher than it is right now.
Yeah.
So the sooner you can get it in brine, the better. It doesn't like bring it back to life or anything like that. So if you have cucumber that's on the turn, the brine's not going to fix it for you.
Yeah.
You're going to be preserving it in the state that it's in.
Gotcha.
So closer you can get to the source, the better.
That was a really cool experience. Thank you for watching. Peep the hat. Shout out to Fishtown Pickles. Please subscribe. Check this out. We're taking the freight elevator up. Yeah. We're moving. It's kind of crazy.
You take a look up, you can see like all the way up through the shaft.